Hey there, gamers. DreamcastGuy here, and today we're talking about Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophecy, because the next big Naughty Dog game has managed to be already extremely controversial. I mean, people are downvote bombing the trailers, people are hyper-analyzing every frame of the gameplay, even poring over like developer interviews and stuff to try and figure out what this game is going to be when it's coming out and if it's going to suck. Well, apparently, an employee at Naughty Dog who doesn't like Naughty Dog very much, who doesn't like Neil Druckmann, has just posted the entire story of the game itself. And I wanted to take a look at it because it's a pretty wild leak that is already spreading like wildfire. Let's get into it. Hi, hope you're having a great day. And if you could, please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's see if we can get this video to like, I don't know, 2,000 likes, right? Okay, so let's just keep in mind two separate things. First, this leak might not be legit. It might be fake. It already has 2.1 thousand likes. This thing is going nuclear. In fact, it seems like it's getting about 100 likes per minute right now. It's wild how many people are actually sharing this, talking about it. But even if this leak is 100% legit, keep in mind the fact that Heretic Prophecy, this game is not coming out probably for 3 or 4 years. It's probably coming out, summer or late fall of 2027. And during the course of game development, stories change. A lot of times they have a team of writers that are trying to tweak stuff, to change stuff, to make sure it has the proper amount of plot twists and side quests and big reveals. So even if this leak is 100% legit, keep in mind that some of the stuff may end up being altered by the time the game actually comes out. But here it is. Plot and gameplay details revealed below were sent to a handful of gaming journalists. The most notable, of course, is Jason Schreier, the most famous leaker of all time, but they're debating whether or not to share it. The leaker is supposedly a disgruntled Naughty Dog staff member who doesn't like the direction of the company, or I'm sorry, the actual wordage here, hates the direction of the company, and Neil Druckmann getting more powerful and more influential. My friends, this is an exclusive gaming journalist Discord server, sent me a summary of the leak. Now, I do want to say, I have heard that this stuff does happen, where a big leak crosses the desk of a major leaker and they choose not to publish it. And it seems like a lot of leakers, even if they do make a lot of their money on posting big insider info, a lot of times they do say, okay, is this productive? Is this a leak that's cool? Is it news? Is it actually worth talking about? Or is it just ruining a good surprise, right? So I do think there is a chance that this game, despite the fact that it's getting so talked about and stuff, there is a chance that some leakers may decide not to touch this project just to avoid maybe legal issues or stuff like that. But let's actually take a look at the leaks themselves. So there's basically two of these big things here. Let's start with this one here. All right, so the player is called Jordan. The player character Jordan was a member of the Five Aces, a band of notorious criminals. The leader, Luis, Tony Dalton, which is Lalo Salamanca from Better Call Saul. Hell yes, I love Tony Dalton so much. He has disappeared without a trace, causing the Five to drift apart. I mean, yeah, the leader of your group leaving kind of breaks up the band. The reason for Jordan's shaved head, the absurd reaction to which Naughty Dog fully expected, is to serve her hiding of her identity as she is wanted criminal. So that's a bit silly, the idea of shaving your head, but I guess that's kind of like a movie trope of shaving your head so you're less recognizable. Jordan works as a bounty hunter purely as a means to find her former partners, particularly Luis, who she sees as a father figure. Kamel Maggiani plays Colin, the comedic lead of the crew. The tutorial and opening mission is on Superia's moon, leading to Jordan chasing Colin into space. So all of this sounds pretty reasonable so far, and I'll be honest, I kind of like the idea of becoming a bounty hunter to try and find your old boss, your old father figure, stuff like that, right? They did say that the primary inspirations for this are Cowboy Bebop and what is the other one they said? Cowboy Bebop and Akira. So that's why it's so stylized. But Cowboy Bebop, one of my favorite animes of all time, obviously is a group of bounty hunters, cowboys as they call it in that universe, and their ship, the Bebop. And they're both hunting people from Spike's past. They're trying to solve mysteries and stuff to pay the bills, but they're also very desperate, and they keep running into old people that they used to know. And I think the idea of basically copying that, it's not exactly original, but I mean, as a Cowboy Bebop fanatic, the idea of getting a Cowboy Bebop game in a way definitely has my attention, but let me go back here. The tutorial and opening missions as Superior's Moon. An important note from the leak is there will be no space combat. The aforementioned segment is a cutscene. I'll be honest, I kind of expected that. I feel like I like space combat, but a lot of people are kind of afraid to do it, right? It's easy to mess up space combat. Three-dimensional combat, a lot of times it doesn't turn out to be that incredibly good. As they fly into Superior's atmosphere, an electromagnetic pulse disables both their ships, leading them to crash in different locations. The bulk of the game is described as an open-world Uncharted mixed with sci-fi elements. Now, the reason this is interesting is because there have been other leakers that have been on record this year. I think MinMax is a guy whose name I've heard going around, has said that the goal of this is player freedom. Something that apparently that's going around inside of Naughty Dog is that they want this to be an adventure where you make it up. You are the person that chooses where to go, what to do. I did not hear the word Elden Ring, but I have certain people kind of kicking around the word of space Elden Ring. You know, Neil Druckmann himself said he found a lot of inspiration from Elden Ring. So if it turns out this is that kind of freeform, just check the boxes and you can progress the story kind of gameplay, that would be interesting. But the majority of enemy combatants are AI-driven machines, but with a wide variety of types. Melee, ranged, even vehicle combat are in the game. The base of operations in the game is your crashed ship, which can be customized. As you find each member of your old crew, they'll join in on the ship with seamless interactions depending on the day-night cycle. Think of Red Dead Redemption 2 in your search for Lewis. I mean, that kind of makes sense. The idea of, all right, everybody you find, you track down, they're probably all looking for Luis. So that's pretty cool. The gist of the plot is that Luis sent a message to all members of the five, excluding Jordan, to meet him on the planet. They were specifically instructed to come alone and not mention this to the other members. Once three members of the crew, besides Luis, join you, the game takes a hard turn, and an underground dwelling race of aliens known as Superians kidnap Jordan's teammates. The ship, with all its decorations and customization, is destroyed, inspired by Mass Effect 2's Collector's Event. Wow, this story went from sounding cool to sounding kind of crappy. That sounds like a mix of Overwatch, of like, all right, Overwatch team, it's time to come back. This seems weird. Also, something about the idea of aliens showing up, 20 hours into a 50-hour game seems very, very, very weird. The Symbians resemble humans with some noticeable differences, including the ability to sprout large insect legs that allow them to scale walls, as well as night vision. With more of a survival horror shift, you make your way through underground tunnels to try and save your crew. Oh, man. So going from like Cowboy Bebop to robots to then going against aliens with bug legs. Why do the aliens fight against the robots? This seems really weird. Eventually, you reach where they're held, where it's revealed Luis is preparing to execute them in front of a horde of angry Simparians. What the hell? Jordan interrupts, begging you to know why Luis is doing this. Luis explains the big twist of the game is that the Simparians were once humans who were teleported to the planet thousands of years ago as a side effect of quantum experimentation needed to develop the distant spacefaring technology. The quantum influence on their genetics rapidly advanced to stages of evolution to help them adapt to the harsh environment. When Luis crashed on the planet, he found himself empathizing with the race, promising to support their desire to return to Earth. What the hell? Druckmann apparently had read Heart of Darkness, which inspired this plot. This seems so stupid. The Simperian religion, founded by the heretic prophecy, stated generations upon generations would suffer until a Messiah arrived to lead the Simperians to their ancestral home, which they would reclaim to land to purge its inhabitants. This is so... Oh my God. I know they said this is going to be like a game about like the folly of religion, but man, this sounds This sounds bad. The AI software and battle machinery on the planet was constructed over thousands of years to assist in invading Earth. Okay. So the robots that we're battling against are also Cimmerian technology. That kind of actually connects. I like that. However, the technology needed for a ship to pierce Imperius atmosphere without being disabled by its unique qualities, I guess that EMP barrier, could not be figured out. So, in thousands of years, they farmed technology. They assumedly made mines, harvested materials, made robots, created AI, made this whole activated force. Like, that's part of what's weird about this is the robot army is activated. So they're sitting on the planet already set to kill mode, or do they just automatically go to kill mode when they detect humans, but not the main human or the other humans? This literally is so weird. So they just need a ship. Jordan is forced to watch as each of her companions are shot in the head. She begs about why they're doing this. Okay, so that's very Last of Us Part 2. Luis informs her that she was never meant to be here. That's why he didn't call her to come. He was using her former partner's presence on the planet as a means to an end. It's revealed that Luis informed Galactipol 4 of the 5 aces would be on Superior, and a fleet of police ships outfitted with EMP countering tech arrive on the planet. So this is so bad. Oh my God. Okay, so here's the other part of it. Oh man. I'm literally in shock. That's so bad. I mean, that story literally makes no sense. I'm almost, if this is legit, this is such a terrible leak because my God, this story sounds so bad. Like, why would you go to a planet and immediately start believing their religion, the heretic prophecy, and then helping the bug race to invade Earth when you were just like a badass space guy before that? Like, man, this makes no sense to me. Luis has an affection for Jordan, so he orders Cimmerians to detain her while they fight Galactipol and take their ships. Jordan escapes, and the final act has players tear through a war zone between the two sides, ultimately resulting in Jordan chasing Luis down and killing him as he operates a huge tank. Luis's dying words are to ask Jordan to continue his work, that the Cimmerians deserve to see their home again. The player has the chance to use the tank to destroy the Cimmerian robots, leaving them defenseless to get slaughtered by Galactipol, or destroy the Galactipol ships. After either choice is made, you find Luis's old ship and fly into space, an ending depending on which choice you made. This sounds awful. Oh my God. I'm actually, the fact that this already has 2.5 thousand likes, clearly this is blowing up even as we speak. This sounds so bad. Oh my God. Legitimately, this is just so bad. This feels like a shaky source, especially because you could just put this in a chat GPT. I feel like it has a little bit too much of a comedic effect. If this pans out to be true, I'm good. Oh God, it'd be hella funny if this is real. Oh, God, it's just, if this is legit, the story is worse than The Last of Us Part 2. I mean, I'm just going to say that right up. Obviously, I don't like The Last of Us Part 2. I've replayed it like 5 times. It's not like I didn't give it a chance. Wow. What do you guys think? I'll be honest, I'm still kind of reeling from it. That is so cheesy. That is so goofy. If that's the plot, to go from Cowboy Bebop to let's help the aliens invade Earth because they intergalactic quantum dimension space traveled to thousands of years. My God. Well, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you could please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And please keep dreaming. Oh God, Last of Us Part 2 in space. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.